So now that we put on concealer and we have on the rest of our makeup, it is time to finish everything off with lashes. So I'm going to do fake lashes on one side and then just my regular on the other, just so that you can kind of see the impact of wearing fake eyelashes. So a lot of people get like lash extensions. A lot of people are into false lashes these days, but a lot of people still don't like them. So me personally, as like a makeup designer for theater, if someone is uncomfortable wearing them, I don't make them wear them. Costume designers may feel differently, but if I ever have the complete decision, if somebody doesn't want to wear them or they're uncomfortable, yes, it helps, you know, like open up somebody's eyes and like make their eyes look a little bit more intense on stage, but it's not going to ruin a show if somebody doesn't want to wear false eyelashes. So I don't think it's anything that anybody should ever be forced to do. I prefer, and I do like that when people wear them when they have beauty makeup looks on stage, but I also think that it's perfectly fine to not wear them. So I think that if you are someone and you are uncomfortable wearing them, or you don't know what to do if you have a performer who's uncomfortable, I always think it's better to opt to not make them wear them, just because you don't want them to be uncomfortable, and just kind of thinking about that while they're on stage. So the first thing that I always do, regardless, is curl my lashes. This is like a personal thing, not everybody does this, but I have really like straight eyelashes, so for me, doing this really helps kind of open up my eyes, especially if I'm not going to wear fake eyelashes. So I'll usually kind of do this a couple of times going up and down my lashes, and that will kind of help just kind of open everything up. And so I like to put, I feel like everybody kind of does mascara and lashes and things like a little bit differently. So I personally like to put a little bit of mascara. Will I ever get less bright? We'll find out. I like to put on mascara if it's my own personal lashes, like that I own. I put mascara on before I do them, and I also put it on after to help blend them, but I don't personally like to rewear my lashes. I don't buy super expensive ones because I know I don't like to rewear them. I clean them for people for shows and let them wear them, but me personally, I'm usually kind of like, I wear them and I've had them on all day and I don't really want to wear them again. So if you plan on keeping them forever, or you want to wear them multiple times, I would not put mascara back on them once they're on, to help blend things, just because that can kind of make it harder to clean them, and you get to a point with them, like, yes, you can use like alcohol and makeup remover and get the makeup off, but after a while there's only so much you can do for them. So just kind of be conscious of that. Same with like if you go back over the band with eyeliner, just know like the more makeup you put over it, the harder it's going to be to get it back off if you want to keep re-wearing it. But if you're somebody like me who usually, I just like to throw them out when I'm done, for my personal ones, it doesn't really matter as much. So with your lashes, I'll do like the top first, and then I'll go under. So if you're going to be doing a show that you have to have your lashes on forever, or like you have to be in water, or you know you're going to be sweating, or it's an outdoor show and it's really hot, you might want to use a waterproof mascara. If you're somebody who you know that your eyes run a lot, you really might want to use a waterproof one. Otherwise, I usually just use regular on myself in my own life, but for shows, waterproof eyeliner and mascara is probably a good idea, just because a lot of times, since you're in a more like extreme situation than what your everyday life is, it can be helpful just to have something that you know is going to stand up. If you feel like it's really hard to get it off, one thing that I do is I'll put like regular mascara on first, and then I put a coat of waterproof over that. I don't know if it's necessarily as strong as just wearing straight up waterproof, but that can kind of like help protect your lashes if you are worried about them. So I make sure, especially like if I'm not going to go back over it with mascara, that I really try to like work the mascara into my lashes. And then I'll do a little bit on the under, not always, but again, if it was like for stage and I wanted it to be kind of like a more prominent eye makeup look, this is one way to help kind of like define the lashes a little bit. So I know this is not the easiest thing to see on camera, but just in case you're wondering how I put on mascara, this is it. But you just want to make sure that you're kind of like wiggling the brush back and forth. And so this is going to be the eye that we're not going to put a lash on. So I definitely will go back in. I usually just do 2 coats on myself, but sometimes I will do more than that if I really want my lashes to be intense. And again, one of the weirdest things to probably have yourself on camera doing. And so if you stab yourself in the eye like I just did and you get too much mascara there, you can kind of come in with that same shape of like shading brush, and we can just kind of try to like buff that. Obviously it's inside your eye, you're not going to do that, but if it's below it, I just add it to the eyeliner, and that happens all the time. Like I'll be doing, like kind of like how we did the eyeliner over here. If I'm doing somebody's makeup on someone and you tell them not to open their eye, and they'll probably open it anyway, and their eyeliner smudges, I usually just add it into the shadow, and call it a day, because at that point it's like you're not going to redo their entire face because they open their eyes when you told them not to, or if you make that mistake or whatever it is, just try to make it work, instead of trying to pull everything back off. So I usually try to give it like a second to kind of dry before I add lashes. I'm going to go ahead and like sanitize my hands, and then I'm just going to put one lash on this side, and so I just have these like little very normal lashes. I don't really wear lashes in my real life very often, but I just have these little ones, and we're going to throw these on. And so when you are getting lashes, a lot of times, so these are kind of curved a little bit, as you can't even see this like microscopic eyelash, but it's really nice to kind of like curve them around. So these are mine, so the amount that I'm touching them with my fingers, not the end of the world. If you're working on somebody else, tweezers would definitely be a more sanitary way to do it than your hands, but since this is just going on my face, I prefer not using tweezers because I feel like I'm gonna stab myself in the eye. There's a little bit more control when you're putting them on someone else, but again, it's one of those things where like I used to put lashes on people with just my hands, but with everything currently going on in the world, tweezers might become very necessary for that kind of a thing. So it might be something that if you are an artist working in other people, you might want to get used to that, but on myself personally, we're just gonna do it old school. So it's good to kind of like curve them a little, because that's gonna help it curve your eye, and then curve around your eye, and then you also want to test it and see how it fits your eye. So all lashes are going to be made kind of like in different sizes, and you want to make sure that whatever the size is, I usually just kind of dump it. Oh my gosh, they're very long. They're not what I expect. I've never worn these, but that fits my eye okay, especially because I'm just going to take these right back off. But if something is too long, you want to trim it down first so that it doesn't give you a problem once it's already on. And so as far as glue goes, I personally just use Duo. If you have a latex allergy, you want to make sure that you get a latex-free glue. And then as far as applying it goes, I usually keep the tubes because, again, I'm not usually wearing lashes on myself. So I use this because I can squeeze it out and use it on more people. I also like to use some kind of disposable applicator to put it on the lash, because I feel like it all just like explodes out of the tube when I try to put it on directly. And then also too, I don't really want my tube to like touch each eyelash that I'm putting on, because to me that doesn't feel super sanitary. And then I'm gonna take my lashes before I drop them on the floor, and I'm gonna go ahead, and you just want to have it like right on the band, and so you might go through a lot of disposable applicators this way, but I think it's way easier. I know that they sell the lash glue, and I know Duo does for sure, where it comes with like an applicator like this, but I like the tubes better. They last longer. When I've had like the disposable one, the one with the applicator, not disposable, the one with the applicator, I felt like it dried up really quickly compared to the one in the tube. So that's just my thoughts and feelings on it. But again, if I have to put more glue on this, I'm gonna use a different applicator. And then you want to give the glue a second to set up, so it's just like any kind of adhesive, like if you ever worked with like spirit gum or anything like that, you don't want to just like put it right on. It has to be a little bit tacky before you use it. So some people, if it's for themselves, they'll blow on it. I usually just kind of like hang out for a second, have a little mini conversation with someone. If I'm working on somebody else, or you just kind of like hang out, you can like wave it in the air a little bit. But when glue starts to turn clear, that's when it's like starting to dry. So you want to give it a second to kind of like get tacky, but you don't want it to be totally dry when you put it on. You still want to see a little bit of the glue on there. And so when you do it, when I first learned how, it was like having your eyes closed and doing it, but then other people were like, no, you're gonna glue your eyes shut. So I try to have my eye, when it's on yourself, it's a little harder to have your eye open, but usually for other people, I just have them look down, and I kind of put it on that way. So you have to be really careful with how much glue you put on, but I just kind of try to get it as close to my lashes. Of course, it'll be way too bright, so you can't see anything that I'm doing. So I try to get it as close to my lashes as I can, and I feel like when I do it, I try to get on the center first, and then I'll get both edges, just so that I feel like when I have that anchor point, it's easier to go in and kind of make sure that everything else is secure. So if I was gonna wear this for like 1,000 years, I would definitely need a little bit more glue, because I can tell that it's gonna come up a little bit, and it kind of is, but since this is not for an all-day thing, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. But this is another thing where you might have to, like, on yourself, the light was crazy for a second there, sorry, you have to kind of press it down, and then you can kind of release it. But you can see, so it should be like as close to your natural lash line as possible, so when you're going to be on stage, no one's really going to be able to see if it's not, so you have a little bit more like leeway with it and a little bit more like grace, I suppose. If it's gonna be for a photo shoot or something, or like you're doing a wedding, or you're in a wedding, or you're getting married, whatever it is, I don't know, you definitely want to get it as close to the lash line as possible. Otherwise you might have to go in with like a lot of eyeliner, so that's why I do like ones. It's really hard to, can you even see that? Not really. This has a really thin band, so it's really nice when you have the ones that have like that really thin band. I don't like the thick band ones. I think that they're uncomfortable. The thinner bands, I feel like they just like, they're just so much more comfortable to wear. Like this doesn't feel heavy, other than the fact that like the corner is kind of popping up, which if I did have to keep wearing this all day, I would take another applicator with a little bit of glue and just kind of pop that in there. I usually use smaller applicators than that, like disposable eyeliner ones, but these are the ones that I had right now, so that's why we use these. But I like something that's not like a Q-tip, because the Q-tips that will get like the little cotton stuck in it, and you don't really want that to be stuck on somebody's eye makeup. So these like disposable eyeliner applicators are great. This is a disposable lip gloss applicator that works really well for it. Once I know this is dry, I'll usually curl it again, and on myself, if I was gonna wear it all day, I'd put mascara on it, but I'm not. And so just to kind of finish off, we can go ahead on the other side that we're not gonna use any lashes on. We can just curl this again, and I feel like it's like when I curl it after I have on mascara, that really helps a lot. And then we're gonna try to get in there, and this is always kind of scary because I'm always like terrified I'm gonna like pull it back off, but that really helps to blend it. So you can see like a little bit in here, it's not super blended, but then sometimes you can like either go in with mascara and really blend them together, or if you have like a mascara wand, like a disposable one, you can kind of go in there and comb them together. But these are like pretty wispy, so you can't really tell, and especially if I was going to be on stage, it would not be that noticeable. So we'll go ahead and put one final coat of mascara over there, and then just kind of compare the two, just so you can kind of see. I'll completely block the camera, so you have no idea what's going on. Definitely not the most graceful when it comes to making these, but education doesn't have to be graceful, right? It just needs to be informative. So this would be kind of the completed look, so you can see like it's kind of hard to tell actually, I think, lashes versus no lashes. Really, it's hard to tell, I guess. Maybe my eyelashes are longer than I thought, I don't know. But you can see just having like a little bit of a lash will give you a little bit more definition than what we have over here. The further away I am, I'll probably lose this eye a little bit more. Like I think especially, probably should have done this the opposite way, because I think on lighter eye makeup, not wearing lashes, it's a little bit easier to see the difference, whereas on this, because the rest of the makeup is so dark, it already has so much definition. But something like this, having that little bit of a lash on it, that really helps it pop. But you can see, right, like it makes it pretty. I like wearing lashes because I feel like they're fun, and I feel pretty and fun when I wear them. But can I send someone on stage like this without lashes and it's perfectly fine? Absolutely. So I think they're awesome and they're fun, but they're not always in everybody's budget, and people don't always like them. So I don't think it is something that you should ever force on someone, but I think it's a good idea to at least have an idea of how to put them on. You can buy really inexpensive ones like these. I think for only a few dollars from Friends Beauty. You can get really inexpensive ones from, like, I think Elf makes some if you're just trying to like practice. A lot of places make not super expensive lashes. Mink lashes are usually going to be kind of heavy, so if you are just learning how to wear them, I would not start with those. I would start with just like a regular lash. Ardell makes a lot of lashes. You can buy them in packages. Those are great. It's something that, like, if you do have to wear them for a show, I would practice it a lot, just because you don't want it to be like the first time you're putting them on is like 10 minutes before you have to go on stage. If I'm ever working a show and I'm there, I'll always help people put lashes on, but you're not always going to have somebody that can help you. So it's a good idea, I think, to at least maybe practice it once. But I also think don't ever feel like you have to wear them. But hopefully these couple of videos just gave you a little bit more insight and depth into eye makeup and kind of different things that you can do with it, and hopefully this will help you plan out some fun eye makeup looks for your next show.